playing against Se7en. Maybe we should give Froyotech a bit of a, oh wait, nope, there's no time to actually go over the weaknesses of Froyotech. We're going straight into it. If you're just joining us, this is our second map of the evening. It is Se7en versus Froyotech. It's our upper bracket final, and the first thing I'm seeing on these mids on rack is a nice healthy rollout for both of the demo men over on these teams. They're trading some damage here and there. Both of the soldiers are just going aggressive, seeing if they can actually pick off some of these players. So the scouts are going just as aggressive over on Froyotech. Will pick off some players, some very nice, clean, crisp rockets coming out from Froyotech, but the health is just a little bit better from Se7en, and it's coming slowly their way just from the playing off that health. They have got fewer combat classes, and Froyotech are putting great use to it as well. He actually picks up the health back Blaze now and might chase this soldier kill. Oh, unlucky, actually shoots the floor instead.
And Blaze with 10 HP survives the fight, but what an attempt from Froyotech. Shay was running the crit streak, and he followed the rest of his team throughout the Se7en's ramp room, and he just went in and ate all the spam. So that was a really reckless attempt from Froyotech, maybe already trying to be a bit more reckless once again. That's what they would normally do. And now Arms is getting stuck in the backlines. Froyotech surely knows about it, and they will have to take care of the finish bucket before doing anything else.
Yeah, so they have got a slight advantage over on Froyotech, but I doubt they're going to make use of it right now. AMS, he has actually been kind of updated on, to Froyo, whereabouts his presence is, but he's going to keep burrowing deeper, making it just a difficult task for Froyo to deal with. And before they can actually do any sort of pushing, they need to get rid of AMS, because who knows, it could come to bite them in the ass later.
And now that Uber are the same, the position of AMS in the backlines could really help Se7en, but as I said, is getting cleaned up by both Bani and Arek, so no more AMS in the backline to bother Froyotech. With the first pick, maybe this is time for Froyotech to go on the move. They know exactly where Raymond is, they know exactly where Kedis is, but Kedis actually gets Arek with a nice sticky trap, and even things out with one pick on each side, and Amsi will be back to fight in a second.
Yeah, I mean, looking into it now that we are playing Granary underway and seeing how these teams play one another, what a perfect map for Se7en to kind of just like calm down, breathe,
yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Just take the game nice and slow, because when things were going so quickly in Gully Wash, it just seemed so scary, and now that they can just keep things at a very slow pace, it seems a lot more calming and easier for Se7en to play that game.
Yeah, like all in all, maybe they knew that Captain wouldn't be able to play, so they picked Granary so they could be able to slow down the pace and break Froyotech's momentum. And Arek is taking the buff. She's trying to go onto Drak's head, and he's actually getting nice damage onto the roamer, but Drak with a nice overhead rocket manages to kill the American scout. So that attempt from Arek goes to waste, and now it's going to be up to Arms to make anything happen. He's bombing onto me, gets one rocket onto Shade. It's actually going really deep, and now the pull-off from Permzilla, he forces the bear out of range Shade, and now with Se7en we'll have to shuttle down and try to bait the push from Froyotech.
Yeah, but they actually find the kill onto Flash. It makes you wonder, maybe this is just what you call a good Uber on Drak. They did get 3 picks there. They've actually cut off Drak in this low area. Oh, is Drak cut off Froyotech? They actually commit another scout into him, and it will be enough to actually find the pick onto him now. They will pop off their Uber to hold on to this second point and deal with the aggression from Froyotech. They just back off. They start getting those heals back from their team. And Se7en, they've got no more players there. Oh, actually, a nice little flanking sticky on by Cadus there, but he's just not in the fight, really, to kind of continue up the aggression. So they will walk away with it for now, but Se7en doing much better in this game already, just by the fact that no rounds have been capped in these first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, the force of the Uber was really good from Permzilla, but Talash dying kind of put Se7en on the hot seat, and they had to come back another really bad Uber, and now Shade is sitting on this really tight Uber ad, and considering how Bani is already forward, I wouldn't be surprised to see that Uber trying to be used to kill Raymond. And we can see Froyotech, they're capping the bone, and they're already pushing on the left. They maybe think they still have the Uber ad. Bani is going really deep, the Ubers are getting traded, and Talash dies in the process. this isn't looking really good for Se7en. Yomps is still commenting onto the top. It finally realizes that he has to come back, and that was actually really nice push here from Froyotech, just securing the point and trading the Ubers.
It's like they're getting away with murder here on Brack. Freo just entering for free. They actually get an Uber off and rotate all the way around. But Yomps even took the scenic route to get out. It's just going looking very controlled and very well versed by Froyotech. They're actually trying to play the point right now and using Habib to kind of just sticky up the point.
Well, Habib
keeps farming these frags here on Brack. He actually gets some good damage onto the rest of the core as well. The soldier gets a blind kind of back shot from that scout, and a first round on the board for Froyotech.
What a push it was! Really clinical, really well made here from Froyotech, just taking the ground because solely on the fact that Talash was dead, that was enough for Bani to call the push, and then Habib with amazing stickies killing the 2 scouts and then allowing his team to take the high ground and securing the round. That's the first round in favor of Froyotech.
Yeah, Cadus, he's coming to this mid extremely low. He's only sitting around 50 HP. He might actually get cleaned up at this rate. So low health on the English demo man. Luckily, he manages to get that health back in time. Habib is not so lucky though. He'll get cleaned up by the Cadus sticky. And they've got a few players kicking on Froyotech, but it's been narrowed down to just one. And the Rockets of AMS will hold true. They're going to get a wipe onto Froyotech, and maybe
Permzilla is alive!
He's alive! He actually has some worth in this squad, perhaps. He's going to rear on forward with newfound sense of worth and maybe think about getting a sort of...
No, I think Permzilla is trying to cap the wrong point!
Oh,
Permzilla, he tried to cap the 7th point, but he
days.
was on 7th one, so he hasn't played the game in a while. Just fuck it, the lad.
Oh, wow. Grand stage as well. This is not the time nor the place, but I mean, I mind a little blunder, but he's back to the world of living. He actually gets a kill onto Eric during that little downtime, but they will trade Drac for it. Froyotech have the player disadvantage, but that's not stopping them. They want to keep going forward. They actually get a kill onto Se7en. There's a flank coming around from the scout there. It's actually Flash, and he will crater, but gets the kill onto Habib. And Blaze, he wants to get the jump onto Raymond, will surf away, not making it easy for the Canadian, so they can maybe breathe a sigh of relief for Raymond and company, as they have got something waiting in the wings for them right now, a very special treat for Froyotech coming up.
In somehow this missing situation seems to favor Se7en. That's kind of weird. This is really going against the laws of nature right now, Turbo Tabs, and can Se7en try to take the ground? I see Cadus on the right yard trying to make his way up to the 2nd point. He's being followed by the rest of his teammates, and I'm pretty sure Froyotech is on the... but I think there's a really weird play coming. I can see Froyotech. They went to drop down with the medic and Bani, and the Shade has to use the Uber, but Raymond didn't have to, and everyone came back. So kind of a weird play here from Froyotech, going on that drop down, and they were forced, and now it's only Cadus, Salash, and Raymond's up.
Yeah, they get 3 kills, and how could they possibly kill 6 people with just 3 people alive? Actually, oh God, what a denial from Bani, from Blaze. There will be no Crits Creek today on Brack. Not with Bani and Blaze playing off plays like that.
Yeah, it looks like they knew about the crits after all. I mean, that bomb from Blaze onto Cadus completely denied the English demo man, and now it's going to be another new and favorable situation for Froyotech, and everyone is trying to make their way into the Se7en's garage.
Yeah, they do have another Crits Creep building up for Se7en, but they should be well aware of that on Froyotech right now with a little bit of a whiff almost, if you can call it that. They're going to have an Ubercharge to pit up against this Crits Creek though, and unless they can get that very, very quick, sneaky, sticky onto Shade, I feel like this Ubercharge is going to be very devastating against Se7en.
And Talash is adding the Okai onto the right door. The Uber has been used by Shade onto the bomb from Blaze and the beam onto Raymond. The frags are piling up in favor of Froyotech. Another one, Permzilla dies as well, and now it's only Talash up. What can he do against the 6 players? And this is another round, a really impressive push from Froyotech onto Se7en. There was nothing that can be done for the European to save themselves.
A very, very early pop-in from Froyotech. It made me wonder if it would go as well as it did, but the soldier bombs from Yomps were just extremely solid, and from there they kind of just kept the good times rolling. They had a good string of kills and just focus fire from the Froyo squad and kind of showing up not only on their own map pick, but on the Se7en map pick as well. Another mid, another attempt from Se7en to maybe start bringing things back. They've had a good string of mids though, so maybe they could still think about bringing some rounds into the game. They just kind of holding back now. Most of the Se7en soldiers, it's mostly these 1v1 skirmishes that Froyo seem to take but then lose out. AMS is just not really taking a direct fight, just sitting on the sidelines, throwing out rockets and helping out his teammates. And what do you know, teamwork has helped up a Team Fortress 2 team.
Now it's only Banny in the backline, just going on a 1v1 against Drak, and he takes it home. But now everyone from Se7en is aware that they have a squad behind them. They will have to take care of it. Really nice mid here from Se7en. Really nice aggression. We even saw Kale is jumping in to try to get the kill onto Shade, and so he did. And now it is going to be a good situation. I think this is the first time that Se7en is sitting on the Uber advantage. Banny is going in the backline trying to get some magic happen, but he's getting greeted by 3 players from Se7en. Yomps is bonging as well. It can't get any frag, and everyone is weak. Permzilla died in that process to the bullets of Froyotech, but this is still looking really good for Se7en if they decide to push now.
And keep in mind, Brad, they held on to that Uber during all of that aggression as well, so they can kill, still keep... Oh, they actually get a pick onto AMS. That could have gone a lot worse there. Raymond stays alive. They still have the Uber, and they still want to keep pushing with this, despite losing a few players. He will actually be forced out, though. Brought down to 19 HP when he had to pop that Uber, so they're going to have to just settle for second point, but I think they really, really wanted to use that Uber for last on Bragg.
Yeah, that was kind of unfortunate because I'm pretty sure Talash was removing the stickies above Am's head, but Am didn't really want to waste any time, and gotta be reckless here, gotta be punished by the stickies of Habib. And we can see Froyotech, they know they have the Uber out, they're just trying to take some ground onto that second point, and it looks like Se7en are quite happy to give them the space they wanted, and they're leading to the midpoint.
Yeah, Banny again, exclusive just medic attention at this point. It seems like Shader just and him are just zooming about. Ams will get a stab onto Blaze, and Blaze is like, who plays sniper at this point of the game? This is disgusting showmanship.
Oh, he gets another frag onto Habib! Ams, who can stop him? He finally dies, but with 2 picks under his belt, this is completely enough for Se7en to secure that midpoint. Permzilla is on the prowl as well with the fully buff medic with him, and now that play from Amps was really random, and this is probably why Froyotech didn't expect it.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes you wonder if there was some communication going, but I bet Habib just had a lot on his plate. The last thing you really want to do is kind of deal with the spy when you're busy fragging like 5 other nerds on the enemy team, so they're going to just take it on the chin, go back to their own second point now, and just respect the respawner advantage they get from holding on to that midpoint there.
And now it is another Uber out for Se7en. They're trying to waddle their way into the second point, but the spam is really strong for, I think this is Yomps up the top. Oh, the bomb from Amps! He gets saved with nice 2 rockets, really nice bomb here from Amps. This is just to open things up. For Se7en, they could poof with the fully Uber at turbo taps.
Yeah, they've also got a heal advantage as well. They're entering in this left-hand side for free. Yomps will jump back to his squad. They will lose Drak off the back of it, but they actually get the Blaze frag as well. Permzilla will clean up the Banny kill. They're trying to pressure the point, but they've got some stickies to maybe deal with. Very nice turnaround from Yomps. Very nice rockets from Yomps here. They're kind of maybe clawing it back, but it's just Cadus. He needs to respawn everything, and Habib has come back. He's cleaned up these last people. The soldiers come back into the fray. It's time for the second fight, but Habib will win the second fight as well.
What was that? What was that never-ending fight? I can only salute Froyotech for being able to hold this without a medic. Their focus fire was really, really strong. Shade once again beating really weak under the second point. The bomb from Drak was coming really strong.
Oh no! The dead ringer from Flash, it just killed him there. I think he was expecting it to have a different kind of invisibility watch. What? AMS just walks in, he's entering the meat grinder as well. Se7en just on a dying simulator.
It looks like just Se7en they just wanted to go in at all cost at all time, and now this is going to be another Uber ad, but this time this is for Shade and Froyotech. They're just going really deep once again into that middle. Drak's trying to hold his position, but he has to give it up. And now Raymond will have to play more cautiously because Shade is sitting on the 20% Uber ad.
A lot of chaos there. I wonder if the Se7en team has been keeping track of the advantage coming in from Shade. Well, Froyotech have been keeping track. They pop straight in. They want to use this aggressively. They want to find Raymond, but Raymond's back. He's got his Uber charge now, but they have lost Cadus during all of that. They've actually lost three players on the side of Se7en during all that. That's just got to be called a good Uber. I mean, even if the majority of it didn't happen during the Uber.
Raymond has been forced by Habib as well, so now this is looking really, really bleak for Se7en. The Uber has been put up to no use. Talash is trying to go in, he's trying to go for Shade against the frag onto Shade!
Yep, so with that turnaround now, he does lose his life, but you've got two scouts of Froyotech in your base causing havoc. They don't see him coming. A wreck actually gets cleaned up by AMS now, and things are starting to stabilize for Se7en. But every time I say that on Bragg, someone loses their life to some random flank player over on Froyo.
Everyone is just pushing their W key right now, TurboTap. They don't want to. They don't want to come back.
What the hell? Yomps is hiding around the corner now.
I think maybe this new Cooler Master keyboard, they don't have S key.
Yeah, it's a new feature. It's the only way to make Se7en aggressive is just to get them a whole.
That was the secret all along.
Yeah, the new keyboards. Well, AMS, he wants to join the fight, but the spam is just kind of keeping him out for now, and for good reason. They've got the Uber advantage. They don't want them to enter this mid, and they want to hold on to that respawn advantage by holding on to that mid. They will actually get forced off. They can't actually hit that scout. It will be up to Cadus to find the frag onto Bani, and
the trap! Habib once again!
From Habib! Is he going to end this off with an air shot? Oh man, that would have been tasty, but what a turnaround sticky trap from them. It was a play from Bani to get that force onto the combo there, and they just didn't see it coming. Hook, line, and sinker on Bragg.
Yeah, it looked like Se7en they were completely denied by the spam from Blaze and Yomps, and then Habib with the cleanup sticky. Who, like, I mean, since when the demo man is in charge of the cleanup frags? I don't know. Maybe Froyotech is trying to come up with a new meta. I can see Arms and Drag actually getting 2 frags onto Blaze and Yomp, so this is probably going to slow down the push from Froyotech. The Uber has been used on top, but what can they do now? There's just a sentry. Bani doesn't really care. He's doing really deep. He gets the frag onto Permzilla. Can he get any more than this? It's really weak. He doesn't die, and with the Arek, Cadius dies as well. So now this is going to be really hard for Se7en to hold this point. They're only 2 up. Habib once again with the nice stickies, and this is the 3rd round in favor of Froyotech.
3-0. This is looking awfully familiar on Bragg. Awfully familiar indeed. And I think if there's a time that if Se7en are going to turn this around, it's got to be this point of the game. They've only got 12 minutes left to make 3 rounds back minimum if they want to bring this to a draw or golden cap. All right, so the mids, they've been quite even for both of these teams. So Se7en could maybe turn into start getting a good mid, a good start, and start rolling it from there. This is their comeback potential. They have to start hitting these kind of quick rounds though, and Froyotech have started off this mid very, very nicely by taking out Cadus. That's the majority of their damage as well. And AMS was a big part of their successful mids. They're cleaning up all the soldiers, and it's just the scouts left, the granary, no less. What can the scouts do at this point? All they can do is run away with their medic, taxi him back to a safe place.
Ooh, Habib with a nice cleanup pipe onto Talash. The Dane scout, there was nothing he could have done to avoid this projectile from Habib, and at least Raymond didn't die on this one, so the Uber are going to be the same. But Yomps, he's restless. He's going on to last with a nice rocket into Cadus. Arms Prosicate with the 2 frags onto Yomps and Blaze, and another one to Bani. So the Uber are being used on the two teams. Only 3 players up on Froyotech. Arek doesn't care about this. He just goes for Raymond and maybe another frag, but no Drag. Just 1 rocket onto Arek and another onto Shade, and that salvaged the situation for Se7en.
Even the best team succumbs to the horrible sin of focusing that medic after he's used his Uber charge on Bragg. I mean, he's such a tasty target 90% of the time. They just want him even after he's used the Uber. But you could tell once you take out that medic, you have to deal with all these combat classes that have just kind of kited around and waited for you to just kind of choke yourself with your own given rogue.
And after Shade died, he's now back in action. So is Raymond. The Uber are going to be quite even for both teams. But Froyotech, they don't care about the Uber ad. They just American. They just want to push all the time. Blaze is trying to make his way up top. the second point, he's been called, he's getting spammed out, he has to come back, and maybe this is going to be a reset for Froyotech.
Yeah, he's actually tagged in Yoms now. It's Yoms' turns to come around onto the flank. They're actually trying to punish their own flank over on Se7en now because of all the things. Habib is on 4 HP, and might as well get the clean up onto him now, and Blaze, though, is farming people with that Kritzkrieg, and the boogeyman is here. It is Blaze, he is on fire right now. He has just cleaned up 4 people off the back of his own rocket launcher with a Kritzkrieg, no less. Dear Lord, can Se7en not catch a break on Brack?
And the cap has been secured. Valash dies on the point with trades with Yomp. Doesn't do anything for Se7en. It's not only Cadus and Raymond, but what can they do against Froyotech? They're always pushing forward. They finally decide to prove me wrong and to reset at the second point, and probably use with the Uber ad they now have with the Kritzkrieg.
Yep, they've got to go back. It seems like Se7en can't just breathe and just think about things. I bet Cadus wants to break things down, tell them what they need to do, but they keep the pressure up on Froyotech. There is no time to waste. They've got a hot date tonight. They've got to finish things as quickly as possible, it seems, on Froyotech. They're waiting for the Kritzkrieg. It should be up any second now. Se7en know this. Let's see how they can react to this on Brack. The Kritzkrieg comes in. It doesn't find anybody. He wants to just see if he can launch out any stickies at this point. There's some prime beef going on right now on Brack. I hope you've packed some bread. There's going to be some beef sandwiches.
But in the end, you talk about beef. No sticky is connected with any players from Se7en. So this Kritzkrieg went to waste. Yoms on the back line is going one rocket, personal dives, and he forces the Uber. He finally gets down, but the job has been done for Yoms, and now Se7en is going to have a really hard time to pushing on the second point.
Yep, they are trying to pressure it the best they can, and they will be spammed back a little bit, but if they can keep the shutter door on lockdown, then maybe they could just cap it right under the noses, and that's what they do. But how long can they really realistically hold on to it, capping it in that style? They've still got all their 6 players up on Froyotech, and they're seeing if they could just do it, the very same thing back to Se7en. I mean, you've got 8 minutes left, 3 rounds to claw back. They need to kind of up the ante here, and losing Drac on the flank is not the time to do that. They will pop up the Kritzkrieg for Habib. He hasn't gone away, and it will actually beat the sticky. So, but they've managed to gain back the second point just from the scariness of that Kritzkrieg alone, and maybe that's just enough on Brack.
And the crowd is chanting in favor of Se7en, and maybe these songs are enough to deflect the stickies from the Se7en's player. So now this is going to be another Uber out for Raymond. It's just such a back and forth game. Pumzilla dies again to Rocket from Blaze, but the Uber is finally used onto Amps. This is an Amps Uber, 1 frag, but can he do more? Can he do more? It's just relentless, but he can't find anyone else. Just Yoms chilling onto that garage area, but Raymond has to come back with the help of Cadus, and Yoms surprises Amps with 2 rockets in his back, and Shade still hasn't died, and Shade is still sitting on that Kritzkrieg.
On Brack, they just look so cool over on Froyotech right now. They almost look like they're playing with them. They know that they've got this game in the bag, and why should they take it seriously at this point anymore? They feel like it's 5-0 in their hearts and in their heads, and maybe Se7en agree with them. It just doesn't feel like they have that spark that they once had.
Yoms tried to bomb in, finally another crit, and this one connects with Raymond. He actually gets Cadus as well.
Oh my god, everyone's just being farmed over on the enemy team. It may not be coming out from these critical stickies, but it's coming out from every other person over on Froyotech. It's 4-0. They're hanging over the body of Se7en right now, and it just needs one last strike on back before it dies.
We're getting closer to the end. Turbo tabs, and Shade, he hasn't enough. He hasn't had enough. He's still there. He's still running the same gun, and it's going to be another mid, the 5th mid of this series, maybe the last.
I mean, the only positive things I can come to say about this Granary game is like the mids have been somewhat even, maybe favoring Froyo as the things kind of peter off now. There is a bit of a trade between both scouts, and actually the soldiers will be secured by Blaze, so with this player advantage now he can set up maybe a flank on it. He tries to control the health back area and will actually get cleaned up by the collective kiting and controlling of Se7en, but Eric responds, takes out the Cadus kill. They will actually keep just diving each other on this midpoint. Yoms really wants this kill onto Raymond, can't find him, will find him in the end, and the Kritzkrieg actually wins them that midpoint just because farms a little bit quicker than that Medigun.
Yeah, Jon looked like he kind of lost track of Raymond for a while, but he just took his time and with a really nice rocket secured the frag. And now Froyotech is making their way onto a 7-second point. Habib is really far back, so he won't be able to get the crits if Shades get it in time. Kedus just putting some stickies, trying to deny a bit the vanguard of Froyotech, and now it's Drak in the back line. He's been spotted by Habib, and I think Blaze is on his case as well. 2 nice rockets from Drak to Habib, just reclaiming the frag and now keeping up, hiding onto the backlines of Froyotech.
You hear the chanting going off right now. The crowd is electric on Brack, and it pulls a smile to my face. But what else is also might pull a smile to their faces is Shade does have a Kritzkrieg ready for Team 7, but they should be aware of this. They had to deal with it on this midpoint now, and Shade didn't go down last time. If they've been keeping track, they will actually get that kill onto Drak. That's been kind of being a pest in the background. They've got an Uber charge up in sound for 7. Maybe they can just pop that Uber just in time before the Kritzkrieg becomes a real threat to them, but they're saving this Kritzkrieg for and really want to put it into a scary position to them. They actually will Uber in from the flank around the little Z area there. Banny will actually meet the top area. They don't expect a Kritzkrieg scout coming from the top area. It's a first for me. I bet it's a first for 7 as well. During all this flanking, they actually get back capped in a sense, and now they have to do a bum rush to last. Yomps is denying them that place where they can block the point, and it doesn't end with a bang, but with a whimper on Brack. USA! USA!
Traitor! Turbo Tab, surrender to the enemy right now. But yeah, this is